Hi all, welcome to Brilliant Education Doha, Qatar. In this video, we are going to discuss human reproductive system most important question for the final exam, CBSE final exam. As we know, we already got the dates, right? Final exam CBSE is 19th March 2024. So before that exam, we need to brush up all these chapters once. Right, students? Molecular base of inheritance, biotechnology application. Total 7 important chapters are there. Total 13 chapters are there, but 7 most important chapters are there. So I am planning to discuss each chapter in 1 hour. Super fast revision. I'll discuss important topic of each chapter. In this video, only human reproduction system we are going to discuss, and the next video I am planning for the biotechnology, molecular base of inheritance, evolution chapter. So this video is highly helpful you to get a top marks in the final examination. Shall we start? Look at the first question. Whenever in human reproductive system, when you're preparing for the human reproductive system, when you're covering the human reproductive system, what are the all important topic you should touch? What are the all important topic you should cover? The first look at here, male reproductive system. First finish male reproductive system, right? Next female reproductive system, male female reproductive system. First finish. Enter the structure of male testis and testis structure, accessory glands, and also what associatory ducts. Also their secondary sex organs are there. This all finish first, male and female, right? After this one, try to finish what most important, gametogenesis process. Gametogenesis process is the most important topic, student. In this gametogenesis, spermatogenesis is there and also oogenesis is there. What is gametogenesis? Gametogenesis is the process, the formation of gametes in sex organs, right? Gonads. There are 2 types of gonads. Male gonads are testis, female gonads are ovaries. So gametogenesis again divided into 2 parts. One is called spermatogenesis, which exclusively takes place in males for the formation of sperms or spermatozoa. Second one is called oogenesis. Oogenesis takes place in ovaries, female, for the production of secondary oocyte or egg, we can call, right? Now these 2 processes, gametogenesis process, that means spermatogenesis process, oogenesis process. First important oogenesis, spermatogenesis finish. We will discuss, we will brush up today entire this oogenesis and spermatogenesis concept. Next, after this one, menstrual cycle, most important menstrual cycle. In the menstrual cycle, how many phases are there? Menstrual phase, and after that follicular phase, after that ovulation phase, after that luteal phase, or we can also call secretory phase. In this each phase, what exactly happen? Which hormone involved in the ovulation? Which hormone increase in the luteal phase? Which hormone increase in the ovulation phase? Which hormone increase in the follicle phase? Most important topic we will cover today. After menstrual flow or after menstrual cycle, fertilization finish. Fertilization process, the spermatozoa and also secondary oocyte trigger or ootid. We can call ootid. That ootid or egg fertilization takes place in ampulla isthmus junction for the formation of zygote, and from the zygote embryo development. Look at it. After fertilization, what is there? Embryo development process. In this embryo development process, you should cover morula and also blastocyst and also gastrulation, where this process takes place. How many cells are there? What is trophoblast cell function? What is inner cell mass function? All most important one. We'll see. Diagrammatic questions also we'll see now. Next, parturition process, and finally lactation process. This all process, when you're preparing for the human reproductive system, when you're covering this entire chapter, just mark this one. I might cover this spermatogenesis, I might cover this oogenesis process, parturition process. If you finish this all topics, your human reproductive system chapter finish. You understand my point? Do not ignore a single topic from this what they call list. Understand, students? Now look at the first question. Look at the first question. This is a question. The question tell us, look at the question. The question tell us, draw a sectional view of seminiferous tubule. This academic year I'm expecting this question come. Last academic year it was what they call secondary oocyte question was there in 2023, 5-mark question in Qatar paper. 2023 5-mark question, secondary oocyte diagrammatic question was there. This time I'm expecting seminiferous tubule or menstrual flow or menstrual chart is there. From this 1 question can come. Look at here. They're asking, draw the sectional view of seminiferous tubule in human. Label the following cells with the seminiferous tubule. They're asking, right? Where is the seminiferous tubule? We know the testis. If you look at the testis, inside the testis, look at it, this is a testis, right? This is a testis. Inside the testis, there are many lobes are there, right? These lobes are called what? Tell me. Testicular lobes. These are lobes, testicular lobes. Inside the testicular lobe, there are highly coiled structures are present, right, student? This highly coiled structures are called what? Tell me. Seminiferous tubule. These are seminiferous tubule. In each lobe, how many seminiferous tubules are there? 2 to 3 seminiferous tubules are there, right? These are seminiferous tubules. Highly coiled, twisted tube-like structures are called seminiferous tubule, right? How many seminiferous tubule in each lobe? 2 to 3 seminiferous tubules are there, right? Between the two seminiferous tubule, the gap, look at here, I am writing here, this one is called seminiferous tubule. Ferrous tubule, right? Now fine. Now this gap between the seminiferous tubule to other seminiferous tubule, this is called interstitial space. This I am calling what? Tell me. Interstitial space. Interstitial space. In the interstitial space, we know specific cells are present. What are the cells? Leading cells, right? These cells, look at here, I'm writing here, these specific cells are present here. These cells are called leading cells. I'm writing here. This is called leading cells, or these leading cells are also known as what? Interstitial cells. Most important, interstitial cells on which hormone act? Androgen called what? Testosterone act. Yes or no? I'm sorry. Leading cells on which hormone act? LH hormone act, and this leading cells produce what? Tell me. Androgen or testosterone. Right? Now look at here. Seminiferous tubule, cells that divide by mitotic increase in number, they are asking. So one seminiferous tubule. If I cross check this seminiferous tubule, I would see this structure. Look at it. This is a seminiferous tubule, transverse section of seminiferous tubule. Transverse section of in the seminiferous tubule, two major type of cells are there. One is called male germ cells. What are male germ cells called? Spermatogonia, right? Spermatogonia. Second type of cells are there called Sertoli cells. Sertoli cell function is what? Nourishment, providing nourishment to whom? Developing spermatozoa. Correct? Now look at here. This is a seminiferous tubule. In the seminiferous tubule, these cells are called spermatogonia. Spermatogonia cells are diploid. These spermatogonia cells are male germ cell students. This spermatogonia cell undergo many times mitotic division, and it give the next stage called primary spermatocyte. Primary spermatocyte undergo what? Meiosis 1. We'll see in a minute. So first question answer is what? Cells that divide by mitotic division. I am going with what? Tell me. Spermatogonia. Then this spermatogonia, after mitotic division, this will give primary spermatocyte. Primary spermatocyte also diploid. So where is the primary spermatocyte here? Look at here. This is a spermatogonia. This one is called primary spermatocyte. Here I am writing primary spermatocyte. Primary spermatocyte undergo meiosis 1. This primary spermatocyte undergo M1, meiosis 1, to give what? Secondary spermatocytes. Secondary spermatocytes are haploid or diploid? Haploid, right? Because after meiosis 1, it's a reduction division. So haploid, right? Now where the secondary spermatocytes are? These are. Look at here. This B is called secondary spermatocyte. Are you with me, student? Look at here. What is this type of cells? These cells, this type of cells. Look at here. These cells are called Sertoli cells. Fine. Now what about this one? What is the fate of the secondary spermatocyte? Secondary spermatocyte complete meiosis 2. That means it will primary spermatocyte meiosis 1. And it produces what? Secondary spermatocytes. Secondary spermatocyte finish the meiosis 2 to give spermatids. You got my point? Meiosis 2 after. That means spermatid also haploid in number. Where is the spermatid, sir? Look at the structure. This A1. The one which is attaching to the Sertoli cell is called spermatids. These spermatids undergo maturation, proliferation to give fully developed spermatozoa. So I am writing after this spermatid, after the maturation process, these spermatids are converted into, tell me, spermatozoa. You got my point? Where is the spermatozoa? This one is called spermatozoa. Sir, how can I identify the spermatozoa and also spermatids? Remember, Students, if you look at the seminiferous tubule, the cell which is not touching to the any other one, which is ready to release, called spermatozoa. Look at here, spermatozoas are not touching to the anyone beta. But if you look at the spermatids are still attaching to whom? Sertoli cells. Very easy to identify. The cell which is still embedded the head part in the Sertoli we call spermatid. The cell which is ready to release out, spermiation, release to out, release from the seminiferous tubule to out, which is not touching to the anyone, spermatozoa. So spermatozoa also haploid. You got my point? So based on this information, we will answer this question. First question answer is what? Spermatogonia. Fine. Spermatogonia undergo many times mitotic division to give primary spermatocyte. Primary spermatocyte, spermatogonia, both are diploid, student. Diploid. Done. Look at the second one. Cells that undergo meiosis 1. Now can you answer? Cells undergo meiosis 1. Meiosis 1, primary spermatocyte. Primary spermatocyte. Got my point? Third question. What is third question? Cells that undergo meiosis 2, secondary spermatocyte, sir. First one is called what? Primary spermatocyte is what? Meiosis 1. Secondary spermatocyte is what? Meiosis 2. Then, now, cells that helps in the process of spermiogenesis. They are asking what? Tell me. Spermiogenesis. What is this spermiogenesis process? Spermiogenesis process is that in which these spermatids are convert into spermatozoa. Spermatids are matured into spermatozoa. This process is called spermiogenesis. For spermiogenesis process, do you remember, student? FSH hormone and Sertoli cells. On the Sertoli cell, which hormone act? FSH hormone act and releasing some factors, and this FSH hormone helps the Sertoli cells. Helps in which process? Spermiogenesis process. They are asking cells that help in. So simply I am writing what? Tell me. Sertoli cells. Enough. Sertoli cells. Got my point? So 5 mark question this is, student. 5 mark. If you know the entire process of spermatogenesis, any question they ask, you can write. One more important thing everyone need to remember. One primary spermatocyte or one spermatogonia eventually give 4 spermatozoas, because after meiosis division, tell me, we learned in the 11th grade, right? Cell cycles and cell division chapter. After meiosis division, how many daughter cells will form? 4 daughter cells will form. So if I ask you a question, how many primary spermatozoas are required for the 100 sperm formation or 100 spermatozoa formation? 25 is enough, right? Because 1 will give 4. So 25 into 4, 100 spermatozoa. Are you with me? You got my point? So any type of question can come from this area. Next, one more important thing is secondary spermatocyte, spermatid, spermatozoa, haploid. For 23 chromosome, 23. Let me write here. This one is 23 chromosome. Here also 23 chromosome. Here also 23 chromosome. All these 3 are haploid, 23 chromosome. What about primary spermatocyte and spermatogonia? Diploid, student, 46 chromosome. Remember, I can ask question from this area. You got my point? So 46 chromosome. Fine. Last, mention the role of leading cells. They are asking. Where is the leading cell? Just now I told you, between the 2 seminiferous tubule, this area is called interstitial space. Inside the interstitial space, specific cells are there. What type of cells are that one? Leading cells. It is also known as interstitial cells. On this leading cells, tell me, pituitary one hormone act. Which hormone? Tell me. LH. LH also called interstitial cell stimulating hormone, ICSH hormone. It come from where? Anterior pituitary. Yes or no? It is also known as what? It is a gonadotropin hormone. There are 2 gonadotropin hormones, right? One is called FSH and one is LH. This LH hormone acts on the leading cells. Now leading cells start to produce the male sex hormone called what? Androgen. Androgen is also what? Testosterone hormone. Keep in mind. You got my point? This is seminiferous tubule internal structure, and inside the seminiferous tubule the process takes place called what? Spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis is that process, the formation of spermatozoa from spermatogonia. This process start at puberty in case of males. Yes or no? In the male, spermatogenesis process start at puberty. First question, I hope you everyone clear. I cover the entire spermatogenesis process. Just brush a bit and focus on different questions. If you understand this concept, you can answer any type of question, I am sure. Right? Shall we go to the next question? Look at the next question. Next question tell us. Look at here. This is also related to the spermatogenesis process, but different question. Look at it. They're asking, with reference to the following schematic diagram, spermatogenesis and oogenesis, answer the following questions they given. Answer the following questions. What are the questions? This entire process is called oogenesis process. This process is called spermatogenesis process. Question number 1. About 300 million spermatozoa may be present in the human male ejaculation at one time. We know every time when male person ejaculated the semen in the female reproductive tract, 300 million of sperms are released, right? 300 million of sperms are there in one ejaculation. We know this, right? Calculate how many primary spermatocyte will be involved. Primary spermatocyte involved, they are asking. I told you each primary spermatocyte will give 4 spermatozoa, right? 300 by 4. So we can write what? But 75 million required. Million of what? Tell me. Primary spermatocytes required. Primary spermatocytes. Why, sir? And how? Because I told you one primary spermatocyte 4. 75 into 4. You got my point? Next, they're asking, produce the number of spermatozoa. How many spermatids will be formed? How many spermatids form in 300 million of 300 million of spermatozoas are there? That means 300 spermatid must have there. Because spermatids only convert into spermatozoa, right? So answer is what? 300 million, sir. Enough. Next, how many chromatids are found in oogenesis in primary oocyte, and first polar body in human, what they call female, they are asking. You need to understand oogenesis process also, I'll tell you a little later, but the answer of this question is, primary oocyte is diploid, secondary oocyte is haploid. Primary oocyte undergo meiosis 1. Unequal meiosis 1 to give smaller cell called what? First polar body. A bigger cell called what? Secondary oocyte. That secondary oocyte is actually in the mid of the menstrual cycle released from the ovaries, right? Do you remember this one? Now, secondary oocyte is haploid. Primary oocyte is diploid. So when diploid is there are how many chromatids? 46, sir. So I am writing here 46. 46. Now, first polar body. Here it is haploid. Because primary spermatocyte undergo meiosis division to give first polar body and also what? Tell me, secondary oocyte, right? We'll discuss that entire process little later. But remember, first polar body is haploid. Haploid means 23. Answer is 23. You understand my point? So you should know, student, when you are preparing for this chapter, for the final examination, you should know which one is haploid, which one is diploid. What is spermatogenesis process? What is oogenesis process? How many stages are there? I'll explain everything. Oogenesis process also in this video. I will explain the mechanism of oogenesis and spermatogenesis, most important. Right? So the question answer, what is the answer of this question? For 300 million of sperms, we need 75 million of primary spermatocytes only. Next, 300 million of spermatozoa, what number of chromosomes, what number of spermatids are present? 300 million present. Am I clear? Next, how many chromatids are present in the oogenesis of primary oocyte? 46, because primary oocyte is diploid. Next one is what? Tell me. First polar body, haploid, the 23 chromosome. Done. Come to the next question. This is the most important question. This question is actually 2023 Qatar set paper. This is a 2023 Qatar paper 3-mark question they given. It's a 3-mark question. Look at a 3-mark question they given. This is what? Transverse section of ovary. This is a transverse section of ovary. 3 figures they're given and 3 marks they're given, and they're asking different type of question from this one. Let's take here. The diagram given below shows the events occurring in the ovary during oogenesis process. Oogenesis process. Okay, fine. So this one is X, they're asking. This one is X. This one is X. They mention X, right? And the middle, this middle one is the given Y. Okay. Next, this entire process, this entire structure is given as a Z. First, let me identify this one. What exactly this X, Y, Z's are? Shall I call this X is primary follicle, student? As in a primary follicle. Sir, what is the difference between the primary follicles to primary oocyte? I'll explain. Majority of students got this doubt and also confused between this primary follicle and primary oocyte. I will explain. Now, what is this Y? This entire one, this big one is called what? Tell me, Graafian follicle, right? Inside the Graafian follicle, whatever the structure is called secondary oocyte. Secondary oocyte. Done? What about this one? This process, I hope you remember, I hope you recognize this process. This process releasing of secondary oocyte. Secondary oocyte releasing process is called, tell me, ovulation. Yes or no? This is the ovulation process. So after ovulation, this remaining part of Graafian follicle become corpus luteum, right? So I'm writing Z is what? Tell me, corpus luteum. Fine, corpus luteum. So we identify X, Y, Z, we identify. Chalo, look at the questions. Mention the time when the process occur in the human female, they're asking. Mention the time when the process occur in the human female. Identified why, when, and where the whole process form here. So we identify X, Y, Z, right? X is primary follicle, Y is what? Tell me, secondary oocyte, and Z is what? Corpus luteum. Right. Look at the question, what they're asking. Mention the time when the process occur in human female, they're asking. This process is what? Oogenesis. They're giving oogenesis here, right? So oogenesis actually start and oogenesis actually begin early embryonal stage, right, students? Just now I told you spermatogenesis process is that process which start at the time of puberty in males, but oogenesis is not like that. Oogenesis process at the time of what? Early embryonal stage only the process begin. You got my point? Early embryonal stage only the process begin. So what's the answer of this one? Mention the time when the process occurs in human female, at the time of fetal stage or at the time of embryonal stage. The simple answer, at the time of embryonal stage or fetal stage, the oogenesis process began. First question clear. Come to the second one. Come to identify why, when, and how. This is how, when, and how it is formed, the given. When and how this process is, or when and how it formed. What is this Y? Why we identify secondary oocyte. So secondary oocyte, how it will form? From where it will form? Look at the process. I'll explain within 5 minutes the entire process of oogenesis. Everyone keep in mind, everyone careful, look at here. This is the most important question for upcoming exam. Let's take here embryo. Embryonal ovary. This is the embryonal ovary. This is embryonal ovary. This process is begun at what? Embryonal stage, right? This is embryonal ovary. Now, this area, this entire area called cortex, this entire in the middle area called medulla, and also this is called outer one called what? Cortex, right? Look at here. Here there is a blood vessels are there. Here these are blood vessels. Fine. Now, careful look at here, all of you students. Careful look at here. Inside this ovary, this is a fetal ovary. This is fetal ovary. Remember, this is a fetal ovary because this process started embryonal state, early embryonal state. There are many cells are present inside the ovary. These cells are called oogonial cell. These cells are called oogonium or oogonia. Diploid. Oogonial cells are diploid. Am I clear? Now, this oogonial cell undergo many time mitotic division to form new cells. These all cells are known as primary oocyte. These cells are called, tell me, primary oocyte. Let me write here this cell. These cells are called primary oocyte. Primary oocyte also what? Tell me, diploid. Oogonium also diploid. Done? Till everything clear? Surround around this one. surround around the primary oocyte, lot of granulosa cells will come and arrange or come and attach. Lot of where is the granulosa cells are present in the ovary. So lot of granulosa cells are come and attach like this. These all are granulosa cells. You got my point? These all are granulosa cells. Right? Now let me write here. These are granulosa cells. This one granulosa cells. And the middle one, this white one is called what? Tell me. Primary oocyte. Done. This entire process, this entire cell, granulosa cells plus primary oocyte together we call primary follicle. So this one is called, tell me, primary follicle. I hope you understand. Primary follicles are there. You got my point? Primary oocyte, that surround around the primary oocyte, many granulosa cells are present. Now it's called primary follicle. You got my point? Now listen carefully. This primary oocyte undergo meiosis 1, entered into meiosis 1, prophase 1, it will be arrested, stop. Because it's still in the embryonal state, the female baby did not yet come out from the mother womb. It started, but it stopped, but it arrested at which stage? Meiosis 1 or prophase 1. That mean meiosis 1 did not complete yet. Meiosis 1 did not yet complete. You got my point? Remember all of you. At which stage it will be arrested? Meiosis 1, prophase 1. Now what happened? Baby born. 9 months of gestation over. The female baby born. The female baby. At the time of female baby born. At the time of baby born, 2 million of follicles are present. These primary follicles, you know how many? 2 million in each ovary. NCERT mentioned couple of millions of follicles are present in the ovary at the time of baby born. Now, baby born, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, at the time of puberty, 12 years, at the time of puberty, many cells undergo atresia, degenerate. After birth, student, no new follicles added. Remember, no new follicle added. At the time of puberty, students, in each ovary, 60,000 to 80,000 follicles left. Okay. Now, it undergo atresia at the time of puberty. Tell me, each ovary consists how many? 60,000 to 80,000 follicles, primary follicles left. 60,000 to 80,000 left. Now listen what happened after puberty, after the first menstruation. It's called what? Tell me. It's called what? Menarche. Now look at here. What happened? This primary oocyte under complete meiosis 1 to give one smaller cell called first polar body. You got my point? And the second, the big cell is called, tell me, secondary oocyte. Look at here, secondary oocyte. Secondary oocyte is haploid diploid. Now tell me, meiosis 1 completed. Meiosis 1 after, haploid cells only will form. So, secondary oocyte is what? Tell me, haploid. Polar body also tell me haploid. You got my point? Wait. Student, you should remember something. Here, this is a primary follicle. Here, primary follicles, right? Look at here. Let's take here. Okay, let's take here. Look at here, all of you. Careful, look at here. This is the white one. Here I'm representing. This is oocyte, primary oocyte. Surround around the primary oocyte, what I said, tell me, many granulosa cells are there. These are granulosa cells. Fine. This is granulosa cells. And this middle one is called primary oocyte. Done, student? This whole thing is called, tell me, primary follicle. Done? Primary follicle. Now, after puberty, after menstrual cycle, menstrual phase, luteal, follicular phase will come, proliferative phase will come. So 1 to 5 days menstrual flow. 6th day onwards this phase start. Now what happened in this phase? Careful look at here. Careful look at here. Careful look at it. Here, this size of this follicle grow. This is a primary oocyte. Still primary oocyte is only. Next, more and more, tell me, granulosa cells will come and attach. Look at it. More and more granulosa cells will come and attach. Can you please answer me? The size of follicle increase or not? So this size is called, this follicle is called, tell me, secondary follicle. Secondary follicle. What about this one? It is still primary oocyte only. The white one still primary oocyte only. Got my point? Now this secondary follicle keep on increasing, growing. This follicle is growing. That means few more granulosa cells are come and attach. Look at it. Few more granulosa cells are come and attach. Here it is oocyte, primary oocyte. Look at here. Many granulosa cells are come and attach. Let's take here. Look at here. This is oocyte. Okay. Many cells are attached like this. Theca externate will form. Theca internate, theca externate, theca internate will form, and inside this one, student, they develop one cavity like this. One cavity called antrum, one cavity form. This is called antrum, one cavity form. This is called a Graafian follicle. Tertiary follicle first, and after that they develop into Graafian follicle. You got my point? Now listen what happened. This primary oocyte undergo or complete meiosis 1. So it gives smaller, after this process, it gives smaller polar body and bigger, what tell me, secondary oocyte. Now here again, granulosa cells are still attached here. After meiosis 1 division, tell me, one smaller cell form. This smaller cell is called what? First polar body. This is called first polar body. This bigger one is called, tell me, secondary oocyte. Remember all of it. Majority of students are getting confusion in secondary oocyte and secondary follicle, primary oocyte and primary follicle. No, primary follicle inside. That means what is primary follicle? Primary oocyte surround around many granulosa cells are arranged. It's called primary follicle. This stage where this follicle is growing and to form primary secondary oocyte, this process, this stage is called follicular phase. Do you know this follicular phase will be under the influence of FSH hormone? That's why the hormone name is what? Follicle stimulating hormone. Under the which hormone this follicle size will grow? Follicle stimulating hormone. I hope you understand. So this Graafian follicle increase in size. Inside this one, what is there? Secondary oocyte and small polar body is there, right? Secondary oocyte will release outside. I think you people notice something. Secondary oocyte did not finish what? Did not finish what? Meiosis 2. Only meiosis 1 so far have been finished, right? Where is the meiosis 2? Meiosis 2 will finish later. Where, when, we'll discuss little later. Or I'll explain here only. Now, this secondary oocyte, let's take here, this is secondary oocyte. Let's take this is secondary oocyte. Okay, secondary oocyte, here it is haploid nucleus, surround around this one beta, there is a zona pellucida layer is there, and also corona radiata cells are there, like this corona radiata cells. It is a secondary oocyte, right? Corona radiata cells. Now, what happened at the time of fertilization? When sperm come in contact, it will finish meiosis 2. Until sperm comes, secondary oocyte will not finish meiosis 2. Meiosis 2 will only finish when sperm come and trigger the egg. Otherwise, it will not finish. You understand my point? So what's the answer of this one? Tell me. The process takes place this process is begin at the early embryonal stage. And number 2, why is called what? Secondary oocyte. When it will form? When primary oocyte undergo meiosis 1, a secondary oocyte will form. And along with secondary oocyte, what also form? Polar body. Got my point? Last one. Name the hormone produced by Z. Who is this Z? Corpus luteum. From the corpus luteum, we know which hormone come? Progesterone. From the Z, hormone name is called, tell me, progesterone hormone. Progesterone hormone is important for the maintenance of pregnancy. Endometrium thickness. Uterus endometrium thickness is because of what? Progesterone hormone. So progesterone hormone is important for maintaining of pregnancy. This is the 2023 3-mark question. Next. Come to the next question. Look at it. These diagrammatic questions can come. This is an NCERT diagram, ovary transpose section. Look at here. This is a primary follicle. Look at the primary follicle. Many granulosa cells are attached. What about this one? Primary oocyte. Inside it is for primary oocyte. Slowly growing into, look at the follicle, tertiary follicle showing antrum. This antrum is forming mean the follicle grown. Secondary to tertiary. Tertiary, after that, tell me, highly matured Graafian follicle. Primary to secondary, secondary to tertiary, tertiary to Graafian follicle. This whole stage is called, tell me, it's called follicular phase. Follicular phase. Under the influence of which hormone? FSH and LH hormone. Two hormones are peak level. Now what happened? Graafian follicle. On this Graafian follicle, LH hormone, estrogen hormone. Both hormone act. This Graafian follicle rupture, ovum, or it is also called secondary oocyte release. 14th day of menstrual cycle. This process called what? Ovulation. I hope you understand. Now after this one, this remaining part, whatever the remaining part of Graafian follicle, we call corpus luteum. Corpus luteum is temporary endocrine gland. It produces what? Tell me. Progesterone hormone. Progesterone hormone. Tell me, if egg is fertilized, this corpus luteum will be persist for approximately 4 months. For producing of what? Progesterone hormone. Progesterone hormone important for what? Maintaining of pregnancy. If this egg is not fertilized, this ovum is not fertilized, this corpus luteum will be very short of period degenerate because corpus albicans slowly going to degenerate, and again menstruation start. That time progesterone level in the blood low, so endometrium thickness will be decreased. So started what? Next menstrual flow. I hope you understand. Next, come to the next question. What is the most important? Look at here, this question. Look at here. What is the question? Study the flow chart given below. Name the hormones involved. What they call stages. Different stages are explained in their role. Ovulation to pregnancy to placentation, placenta to fetal growth, and parturition given, and lactation also given. What are the different hormones are involving here? Ovulation, I told you just now, ovulation is LH and also what? Tell me, estrogen hormone. Estrogen hormone is the ovarian hormone. LH hormone is what? Tell me, pituitary hormone, right? Pituitary hormone. Next, pregnancy. Pregnancy is here. I can write progesterone hormone. Progesterone hormone. Pregnancy here, lactation is given. Lactation will keep a minute. I'll explain you this one. Pregnancy to placenta. Placenta secrete 1, 2, 3, 4 hormones. You know this very well. Tell me what are the hormone? HPL hormone, human placental lactogenic hormone. Next, HCG hormone. What is HCG hormone? Human chorionic gonadotropin hormone. HCG hormone, pregnancy confirming hormone, right? This hormone concentration in the urine indicate what? Pregnancy positive. Next, number 3 is called what? Tell me, progesterone hormone. Progesterone hormone. Number 4, which hormone? Estrogen hormone. All these 4 hormones are come from placenta. Later phase of pregnancy, placenta and ovary also produce relaxin hormone. Which hormone? Relaxin hormone also come from placenta. Sometimes you will get a question, which of the following hormone is not from placenta? Did I mention here the growth hormone? Did I mention the prolactin hormone? Did I mention the FSH and LH hormone? These all are not from placenta. Oxytocin also not from placenta. So read the question carefully before you answer. Fetal growth, most important. Fetal growth, there are 5 different hormones are essential. What are they? NCERT mentioned. Number 1, thyroxine hormone. Thyroxine hormone. Number 2, cortisol hormone. Cortisol hormone is also known as what? Glucocorticoid from cortex part of adrenal gland. Number 3 is called estrogen hormone. Estrogen hormone. Number 4, progesterone hormone. Progesterone hormone. Number 5, one more hormone is essential called prolactin hormone. Prolactin hormone from where? Anterior pituitary. Remember students, anterior pituitary, it acts on alveoli of mammary glands for the production of milk. Now, next one is called parturition. You know the hormone which is important for the parturition? Oxytocin hormone. Oxytocin hormone also posterior pituitary. Now, lactation, tell me. Lactation, important hormone called, tell me. Prolactin hormone. Prolactin hormone, milk producing hormone. Oxytocin hormone, milk ejaculatory hormone. Oxytocin hormone also important for the labor pains. Parturition. Parturition process. If you recall the parturition process, fully developed fetus after 9 months, fully developed fetus and also maternal placenta produce mild oxytocin in the what they call it. They started actually fetal ejection reflex. Mild, what they call signals. Signals from where? Signals initiated from where? After fully developed fetus in the mother womb. One is called fetus, fully developed fetus will initiate. Number 2, placenta also initiate. It's called placenta fetal ejection reflex. That will increase the concentration of oxytocin in the mother body. That oxytocin acts on the uterus muscles, so contractions takes place. Labor pain. So oxytocin act on the myometrium of uterus during the parturition time. Number 2, oxytocin also act on the mammary gland for the milk ejection. Milk producing prolactin hormone, milk ejection oxytocin hormone. Remember, one important question. Come to the next question. Given below is a diagrammatic representation of human ovum, secondary oocyte. Ovum or secondary oocyte. 5 mark question, 2023 they given better this question for the Qatar set. Now, here A, here it is B, they mention A and D, C they mention. This is one structure is given, right? Everyone keep in mind, secondary oocyte consists plasma membrane. Look at here, plasma membrane here. This is a plasma membrane, right? And it is ooplasm. Cytoplasm is called what? Tell me. Ooplasm. And one haploid nucleus also there. This is called haploid nucleus. This I am writing here. It is called plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is also known as what? Vitelline membrane. Vitelline membrane. Vitelline membrane. Remember, outside of this one, what is there? There is a glycoproteinaceous layer. This is called perivitelline space. I'm sorry. This is a perivitelline space. Perivitelline space. Okay, perivitelline space. Outside of this one, there will be a glycoproteinaceous layer is there, student. This glycoproteinaceous layer is called what? Zona pellucida. A cellular. It is not made up of cell. It is just a glycoprotein membrane called ZP. Zona pellucida. I am writing. On the surface of zona pellucida, if you are able to recall, there is a receptors are there. Which receptor? Sperm receptors. Remember, these are called sperm receptors. Sperm receptors are located on where? Zona pellucida. Zona pellucida, a cellular glycoproteinaceous membrane. Got my? Outside of this glycoproteinaceous membrane of zona pellucida, there is a corona radiata cells are present. These all are granulosa cells. Actually, corona radiata cells. These all are corona radiata. You got my point? You understand my point? These all are corona radiata cells. Now, find out the correct answer of this 5 mark question. Students, come on. Find out the correct answer. This is corona radiata cells. Fine. Look at the first question. Now, A, corona radiata, sir. Corona radiata granulosa cells, radiatal cells. D. Cytoplasm or ooplasm. Ooplasm. Right? B is perivitelline space, or directly I can call it a zona pellucida. And C is called, tell me, haploid nucleus. Clear? Come to the question. Identify the parts of ABC. We already identify. This ovum is released from the ovary with incomplete meiosis division. I told you secondary oocyte yet to be finished, meiosis 2. When I know you understand, when sperm combine trigger, where it is takes place, fallopian tube, ampulla isthmus junction. Because when egg release, finger-like projections called fimbriae of fallopian tube collect. It go to the ampulla isthmus junction. At the ampulla isthmus junction, only fertilization takes place when sperm come in contact. Exactly, ampulla isthmus junction, when sperm come in contact, it triggers the secondary oocyte to finish, meiosis 2 to give second polar body and ooted. With that ooted, sperm haploid nucleus, with haploid, what they call ooted, fertilization takes place. Zygote formation takes place. Where? Fallopian tube. Where is the meiosis 2 finish? Fallopian tube, ampulla isthmus junction. How? When sperm combine trigger. Remember. Then next, what is the next question here? Next question, how does an ovum ensure the entry of single sperm? Very important question. When sperm combine trigger corona radiata and zona pellucida, especially zona pellucida glycoproteinaceous membrane ensure some membranal changes takes place in the egg to prevent the multiple sperm entry. Which membrane is that? Zona pellucida. When sperm come in and contact the zona pellucida, like this. Zona pellucida, here membranal changes takes place. Zona pellucida ensure the changes takes place in the egg to prevent multiple sperm entry. I hope you understand. This is the one of the most important question. Come to the next question. This is the mature Graafian follicle, student. I wanted to show you this. Mature Graafian follicle consists theca interne. Inside this is theca interne and this is theca externe. This all theca externe, theca interne are Graafian granulosa cells only. Inside this one, primary oocyte is there. This is the primary oocyte. Okay, now granulosa, look at this, all are granulosa cells only there, but antrum, look at the big cavity. This cavity is called what? Tell me, antrum. Okay, whenever this antrum filled with the follicle fluid, whenever you see this antrum is there in the diagram, Graafian follicle only, no antrum in secondary oocyte, students. They might give secondary oocyte diagram and Graafian follicle diagram. No antrum in the secondary oocyte. Antrum, where do you identify antrum? In the Graafian follicle. You got my point? Sir, it is still in the primary oocyte? Yes. What happened here now? Primary oocyte. Now this primary oocyte, tell me, complete meiosis 1 to give smaller cell called, tell me, first polar body. Yes or no? First polar body. Whatever the bigger size one, secondary oocyte. Remember, one secondary oocyte form, this Graafian follicle rupture, the secondary oocyte release, process called ovulation. I hope you understand. What about the fate of this first polar body? Degenerate. Because of that reason, out of 4 daughter cells after meiosis, 3 degenerate, 1 only functional egg. With that ooted sperm, fertilization takes place. Got my point? Come to the next question. This is the most simple question, but it is a confusing question. Look at here what the question is asking. Given below are structural details of human mammary glands is given. Mammary glands. We know mammary glands are the paired structure we call breast. Yes or no? Let's take here. This is the structure of breast. Here, this is ribs are there. Okay, inside this here, beta, there is a look at here. This is one breast structure I'm taking. Inside this breast, tell me what are they? There are fat deposition is there. Here, these are fats are there, beta. Fat, and there are mammary memory lobes are present. How many memory lobes are there? 15 to 20 lobes are present. We call memory lobes. I am representing memory lobe with different color. Look at this is a memory lobe. 1, 2, like this. 15 to 20 memory lobes are there. Inside the memory lobe, let me write here. Let me mark this one. This one is called. This is called fat. This is called memory lobes. How many memory lobes, students? 15 to 20 memory lobe. Inside the memory lobe, there is the alveoli present, student, like this. Like this. This is called alveoli. Now, inside this one alveoli I am taking out. This is one alveoli. This are alveoli cells. Look at this. This all are alveoli cells. You got my point? Now, in the middle of this alveoli cell, there is a cavity. Is there? Look at here. This cavity. This cavity is called lumen. This is alveoli. This is lumen. Alveoli of memory lobe produce milk. Now, this milk, whatever the milk they are producing, this milk is stored in the alveoli. Sorry, in the lumen. This is the milk. Milk stored in where? In the lumen of alveoli. This all memory lobes are joined to form like this. Joined to form tube-like structure. These tubes are called memory tubules. These tubules are called, tell me, these tubules are known as memory tubules. Memory tubules. Remember, sir. These memory tubules are joined to form one more tubule called memory duct. Memory duct. Memory duct. Memory ducts are open into the long structure. There is a cavity-like structure called memory ampulla. This is called the ampulla. Ampulla. Ampulla open into the long tube-like structure called lactiferous ducts. Lactiferous ducts. Lactiferous ducts is open into the nipple area. Nipple area. So tell me the milk pathway. Milk produced in alveoli and stored in the lumen of alveoli. From this alveoli, from this memory lobe, tubes come out called memory tubule. Memory tubules are fused to form memory ducts. Memory ducts are open into the ampulla. Ampulla open into the lactiferous. Lactiferous to what? Nipple. Got my point? So from here there will be a formation or secretion of, tell me, milk come out. This process is called, tell me, lactation. Look at this question carefully. Look at this question what they are asking here. The glandular tissue in the breast, 15 to 20 cluster of alveoli is given. 15 to 20 cluster of cells of alveoli or lobe, memory lobes, right? So this statement is not correct. Keep aside. Milk is stored in the lumen of alveoli, correct? Alveoli joined to form memory duct. No, memory tubules first. After that, memory duct. Not correct. Next, memory ampulla is connected to lactiferous duct. Look at that ampulla connected to lactiferous duct. Correct. So they are asking, choose the option and give the correct detail of human memory gland. How many are correct here? The correct is 2 and 4, right? Where is the 2 and 4? Option C is the right answer. Breast anatomy also very important. Properly revise and go. Next question. Look at the next question. Look at this is a diagrammatic question I given. This is a fat. This fat and here memory lobes. Look at here, these are memory lobes. How many memory lobes? 15 to 20 memory lobe. Memory lobes are open into your memory alveolus. Look at the memory alveolus here. Inside this one, milk started to produce. And on this one, which hormone? I said, prolactin hormone act. Right? Next, memory duct. Before memory duct, what is there? Memory tube. Tubules, memory tubules, from to memory duct to ampulla to lactiferous to nipple to outside. You got my point? This is called the milk pathway. Next question. Most important question. This diagrammatic question, every time one question in different manner they are asking. I did study the given diagram. Here, Careful look at beta. If you have NCERT with you, open and look at this diagram carefully. In the diagram, they did not mention A is this stage, but look at here. One line is there. One line, one statement is given. Look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 cell stage. 16. 8 to 16 cell is called what? Tell me. Morula. Remember all of you. Morula stage. Late morula. If it is 8 cell stage, if you have NCERT, look at there. 8 cell stage is in the fallopian tube. Morula, tip of the lower side of the fallopian tube. So this 8 to 16 cell stage called morula. This 16 cell morula undergo compaction. Compaction means this cell, what happened? Slowly outer cells will form, smaller cells will make an outer line called trophoblast. Trophoblast cells. This is called trophoectodermal cells. These trophoectodermal cells, these bigger blastoma cells are called what? Tell me. ICM. What is ICM stands for? Inner cell mass. Inner cell mass become differentiate into embryo. This will become embryo. Remember all of you, embryo. Trophoblast cells or trophoectodermal cells will make a placenta. It will actually attach to whom? Endometrium. Endometrium. And moreover, if you see this cavity in this, what they call stage, it is called blastocyst stage. Zygote undergo many time cleavage patterns to form morula. Morula is what? 8 to 16 still is called morula. After that, after this stage called blastocyst. Where is the blastocyst? Blastocyst slowly come down into uterus, students. Blastocyst is the stage in which implantation takes place. It slowly come down into the uterus and attach to the endometrium. Implantation process. You got my point? You got my point? So outer layer is called what? Trophoectodermal cell. In the middle cells called what? Bigger cells are called what? Blastomas. ICM. Inner cell mass differentiated into embryo. Outer cells are attached to endometrium layer of uterus. It's called implantation. You got my point? Look at the A is an embryonic stage that gets transferred into B. Okay. Which in turn gets implanted in the endometrium of human females. Fine, good. Identify A, B, and its parts. A, morula, B, blastocyst. How simple? Next, C, D. C, inner cell mass. D, trophoectodermal cells or trophoblast cells are. Khatam. Finish. Next, state the fate of CD in the course of embryonal development. Sir, D is going to attach to the endometrium membrane called implantation. C is differentiated into embryo. Enough. You understand my point, student? This is the simple question and you need to be very careful when you're reading NCERT. I'll show you something. Look at here. Look at here. This is the most important. This is called actually morula. Morula. This is a blastocyst stage. Look at the cavity. This is called blastocele. Blastocele stage. Now, ovary. From ovary, egg release. Egg release, fertilization. B is the fertilization. After that, cleavage, 2-cell stage. After that, 4-cell stage. After that, 8-cell stage. This is the 8-cell stage of morula. After that, 16-cell stage of morula. This is actually 16-cell stage. Look at the G, blastocyst slowly come down and endometrium attach. This process is called blastocyst implantation. You will get question. Draw the diagram of human embryo development. You should draw this. Student, you should draw. Otherwise, they'll give this diagram and they ask A, B, C, D. Identify what is A, identify what is B, and what is happening in this uterus. What this stage is this? Lot of questions are interlinked, student. So, my dear kids, before your final exam, you should be perfect in this what they call concept, embryo development concept. Tell me which cell stage to which cell stage is called morula? 8 cell stage to 16 cell stage is called morula. Whatever the cells are present here called blastomas. These cells are called what? These all are called, tell me, blastomas. Remember. Got my point? Morula. Here it is 8 cell stage of morula. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cell stage of morula this is. What my point? Now, next question. Look at the next question. Next question. Look at here. This is one sample paper. Recent sample paper. CBSE released sample paper over a question they're asking. I'll give time. Look at the question. If you know, you should comment. You should write your comment in the comment box. Look at here. What is A? The figure below shows sequence of, let me change this marker, changes within the ovary. Okay, fine. Fine. Look at here. A, B, here also B is given, B step, and C is given. 3 steps are given. 3 steps are given. What is A? If you know, you should 100% comment in the comment box. Tell me what is the first A question. Name the process A. A process is, sir, just now you said rupture of Graafian follicle, releasing secondary oocyte. Sir, it is a ovulation. So I am calling it as a ovulation. Enough. Ovulation. Name the hormone play an important during this event. LH, estrogen hormone, ovarian hormone, and also what? Pituitary hormone. So I am writing it is ovulation by LH and estrogen hormone. Enough. Question number 2. Identify B and name the hormone that regulate the maturation of B. B asking. This is B. What is B? Look at the cavity is there. What is this B? I don't know. What is this B? If you know, you should answer. Come on. What is this B? Sir, just now you said the cavity is there. We can identify it as Graafian follicle. So B is what? Tell me. Graafian follicle. Graafian follicle. Identify and write the function of C. What is C? What is C here? Look at here. This identify this. What about this one? This is called corpus luteum. Corpus luteum secret. They're asking secret hormone function of the C. Corpus luteum behave like a temporary what? Endocrine gland. Sir, it secrete. Sir, it produce. Tell me. Progesterone hormone. Simple answer. Progesterone hormone. Enough. I hope you perfect in this topic, but any question come over a transfer section about this one, you should ready to write. Next question. Look at the next question. Explain how pituitary hormones influence the activity of Leydig cells and Sertoli cells present in the human testis. First question they're asking. We'll see now. Entire the process of hormone regulation I'm going to explain. Careful, look at here. At puberty. When a male boy come to a puberty, look at here. This is a male boy. I'm calling here it is beta. It is a 16 years of an age boy. 16 years. What happened? Careful, look at here. From his hypothalamus, it is a part of a forebrain. Release one hormone. What is the hormone name? Tell me. GnRH. What is GnRH full form? Gonadotropin releasing hormone. This GN hormone acts on pituitary gland. Pituitary. Which pituitary? Anterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary release the hormone called FSH and LH, both hormones. These two hormones are called gonadotropin hormones. Gonadotropin hormones. How many hormones? 2. FSH and LH. Gonadotropin hormone. From where? Anterior pituitary. How? Permission is coming from whom? Hypothalamus. Gonadotropin releasing hormone says, Mr. Pituitary gland, anterior pituitary gland, this boy comes to a puberty age, you should now start to produce LH and FSH. It is a command. It is the order from hypothalamus. So pituitary gland says, okay, I understand. I'm going to now synthesize. I'm now going to release FSH, LH. This LH hormone directly act on Leydig cells. I told you where is the Leydig cells? Interstitial space between the two seminiferous tubule. There is a space. It's called interstitial space. In the interstitial space, which cells are there? Leydig cells. Just now in the first question of this today's video. Now, on this Leydig cells, LH act. So Leydig cell says, okay, I'm ready to produce. What? Tell me. Testosterone hormone. I got testosterone hormone essential for spermatogenesis. This hormone essential for what? Tell me. Spermatogenesis. Not only spermatogenesis. This hormone essential for the growth of muscles, bone growth, maturity, secondary sexual character, spermatogenesis. This all. Got my point? Second hormone. What is the second hormone? FSH. FSH hormone act on Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells produce some factors, activating factor, which helps in, tell me, spermiogenesis process. What is spermiogenesis process? I told you, spermatids are converted into spermatozoa. Spermatogenesis process, which hormone? FSH hormone acts on where? Sertoli cell, remember. So, first question answer clear. Second question you should tell. Now, what is the second question? Spermatogonia has 46 chromosomes in human male. Give the number of chromosomes in primary spermatocyte and spermatids. What is the answer of this question? What number of chromosomes in the primary spermatocyte? Comment. Come on. So primary spermatocytes are diploid. So it is diploid. So 46 chromosomes. Spermatids are haploid. That means 23 chromosome. Answer. Finish. How simple. Next question. Most important 5-mark question. Look at here. Fertilization process. I am going to cover all the topics, student, you might have identified. From the spermatogenesis to last the ovulation process. We'll discuss that ovulation also. The entire graphical representation of ovulation. The figure given below shows 3 sperm ABC. Where is the 3 sperm? Sperm A, sperm B, sperm C. Sperm C did not yet reaches. At least the sperm B reaches, touch the corona radiata, but sperm A almost come in contact with the zona pellucida, right? Tell me, among these 3 sperm, which sperm have a high chance? A, sperm A, right? Now, which one of the 3 sperms will gain entry into the ovum? So sperm A is close. Sperm A is close to that zona pellucida. It touch the zona pellucida, so it trigger the meiosis 2, right? Next, describe the associated changes induced by P and Q. I ask him, what is PQ? Q is ovum, right? Q is ovum. Fine. What is P? This entire green color one is zona pellucida. P is actually zona pellucida, right, beta? This is actually called ZP membrane, ZP layer or zona pellucida layer. Tell me what I said. When sperm come in contact to the zona pellucida, it ensures that membranal changes takes place in the ovum to prevent the multiple sperm entry. Because of this membranal change, single sperm only can enter into the egg. Number 2, what changes takes place in the ovum? They are asking PQ also, right? Tell me. Sir, in the ovum, it finished meiosis 2. It finished this ovum finish, ovum finish meiosis 2 to give smaller second polar body haploid. Second one is called, biggest one is called ooted. With this ooted, sperm haploid nucleus come in contact, diploid zygote formation takes place. This process called fertilization. Understand? Very good. Next question. Look at the next question. The question tells us, explain why non-occurrence of menstrual cycle could indicate the pregnancy. I told you this one. Students, after puberty, every 28 days in the female, the cycle takes place called a menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle, it will absent, it will stop during the time of pregnancy. Once secondary oocyte got fertilized with the sperm, or ooted fertilized with the sperm, when zygote form, progesterone level increase in the blood, it make endometrium thicker and thicker, so that it stop, it not going to happen the second menstrual cycle. So when occurrence of non-occurrence of menstrual cycle, means menstrual cycle is not occurring, it indicate she must be a pregnant. Some other diseases, some other abnormal hormonal imbalance also the non-occurrence of menstrual cycle takes place, but period or non-occurrence of menstrual cycle is the first indication of pregnancy. Next, Menstrual cycle can be divided into 4 phases that we know. What is that? Menstrual phase 1 to 5 days. Follicular phase 6 to 13 days. Right? Ovulation phase 14th day. 14th day, short phase of entire menstrual cycle. Luteal phase from 15 to 27th day or 28 days, we can write 20, last phase. During the time, during the follicle phase, hormone like FSH, LH are released in good amount. State 2 event that are triggered by LH. LH2 event they are asking. LH event number 1. LH act on the mature Graafian follicle rupture and secondary oocyte release called ovulation process. LH also maintain the corpus luteum. Corpus luteum, LH tell you just stay here up to 16th day, 17th day, 18th day or 20th day. 4-5 days you just stay here. 14th day egg release till 26th day you stay here. You need to produce progesterone hormone. Don't degenerate now immediately because endometrium thickness mandatory for the pregnancy. So LH and prolactin hormone also. 2 hormones are maintained the corpus luteum. Stay here, stay here. Don't worry. Stay here. 20th day over. Fertilization did not happen. LH, prolactin hormone tell the corpus luteum, chalo, you started degenerating. Egg did not fertilize. So you don't need to persist for the longer period of time. You just degenerate. So when corpus luteum degenerate, progesterone hormone decrease. Progesterone hormone decrease, the woman body ready for the next menstrual cycle. You understand my point? So this is one of most important hormonal question. Next question. Describe the event of oogenesis with the help of schematic representation. We already done this one. Write the difference between the spermatogenesis and oogenesis. Spermatogenesis takes place in testes. Oogenesis takes place in ovaries. Spermatogenesis start at the time of puberty. Oogenesis start or begin at the early embryonal stage. Spermatogenesis eventually give a male gamete called spermatozoa. Oogenesis will give secondary oocyte or ovum. You got my point? Spermatogenesis is that process, continuous process throughout life. But oogenesis is a discontinuous process. After certain age, females will stop producing these eggs. It's called what? Menopause. Menopause phase. These are the different you can write. Next question. Look at here. This is the one of simple question. If you ask me, this is a simple question. The path of sperm transport is given below. Provide the missing step of blank box. What is the path of sperm releasing? We know. In the last class I told you better. Look at here. One more time we discuss. Look at here. This is testis. This is testis. Tell me, in the testis, there are many lobes, I said, right? What are the lobes called? Testicular lobe. This is one testicular lobe. Second testicular, 300 to 250 to 300 testicular lobes are there. Inside this testicular lobe, tell me, there is seminiferous tubule like this. Look at it, seminiferous tubule. Seminiferous tubule. How many seminiferous tubule I said? 2 to 3 seminiferous tubule in each lobe. Like this, seminiferous tubule. You got my point? Where is the spermatogenesis process takes place? Sir, seminiferous tubule only. You got my point? Now, carefully look at your student what I'm explaining. These seminiferous tubules are joined. Look at here, seminiferous tubules are joined. All these seminiferous tubules are joined to form one structure. This structure called rete testis. Rete testis. This rete testis open into the long tube-like structure, student. These long tube-like structures are called vasa efferentia. Vasa efferentia open into big structure. Can you guess which structure is this? Epididymis. This structure. This structure is called what? Tell me. Epididymis. This is epididymis. Epididymis is open into vas deferens. This is the vas deferens. Vas deferens. Now, seminiferous tubule to rete testis to vasa efferentia to epididymis to vas deferens to ejaculatory duct to urethra to outside. This is a pathway of sperm. Now look at here. Seminiferous tubule, correct. Rete testis, correct. What is this blank called? I'm writing here, it is called vasa Efferentia. Efferentia. Vasa efferentia. Epididymis to vas deferens. Next, urethra to outside sperm pathway. Sometimes you will get question. What happen if this vasa efferentias are get blocked? Vasa efferentias are get blocked. Sperm cannot move from testis to epididymis. So in that semen, no sperm, only seminal plasma can come out. What is semen? What is semen? Do you remember this one? What is semen? Sperm's cellular part plus seminal plasma. Seminal plasma secreted by 1, 2, 3 associatory glands. What are they? One is called seminal vesicles. Yes or no? Seminal vesicles. Number 2 is called prostate gland. Prostate gland is only one donut shaped structure. Second one is called urethral gland. Urethral glands. These 3 glands are secreting fluid. Part is called seminal plasma. Seminal vesicles secrete seminal plasma, which include fructose, enzymes, activators, proteins, calcium ions, prostaglandin factors. These all are seminal plasma provide nourishment and also energy for the sperm movement. Student, keep in mind. You know, these all glands, accessory glands in the male reproductive system. There are 2 types of sex organs. Do you know? Primary sex organ, testis. Secondary sex organ. What are the secondary sex organ? Vasa efferentia, epididymis, what different, ejaculated duct. These all are secondary, which transport sperm. What are accessory glands? Which secrete seminal plasma. What is the importance of seminal plasma? Provide energy and also what? It provide energy and also movement for the sperm. You got my point? Now, prostate gland. These 2 together called semen. But what happens if this is blocked? Vasa efferentia get blocked? Tell me. Sperm production takes place, but that sperm cannot be in the semen. That means only seminal plasma come out because there is a block, right? So sperm cannot move from rete testis to epididymis. Epididymis is a storage house of sperms. Remember MCQ question. Sperm can be stored in the epididymis. Morphological and also what? Few type of modification takes place. Physiological modification takes place of sperm modification takes place in epididymis. Remember, students. Next question. Next question. Look at here. This is a diagrammatic question. Diagrammatic question. The refer the given diagram shows human male reproductive system. Okay. Z shall I call bulbourethral? This is called prostate. Prostate gland. This is called bulbourethral. Yes or no, student? Bulbourethral. Bulbourethral. Bulbourethral also called Cowper glands. Cowper gland, paid 2 are there here, and also this side also 1 is there. And what about this one? Seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle also here, and 2 are there. Seminal vesicles, 2 glands are there. These 3 glands are together called, just now I said, accessory glands. Identify X and write location of the body. X is testis. External, in the abdominal cavity, lower abdomen, outside of the abdominal cavity, pouch-like structure called scrotum. Testis are male sex organ or gonads, produce gametes and test hormones. Next, name the accessory glands Y and its secretion. Where is Y? Where is Y? Y. Seminal vesicle. Secretion called what? Seminal plasma. It include prostaglandins, enzymes, proteins, what the calcium ions, fructose. These all are present in the seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle producing seminal plasma. Name and state the function of Z. Who is this Z? Z is bulbourethral gland. Bulbourethral gland secretion is important for the lubrication in penis. Lubrication in where? Penis. So these are most important questions, students. Now one more question is there. Look at the one more question. We'll finish this question and we'll go. Look at here. Primary follicle to Graafian follicle A is given. A. Primary follicle to secondary follicle A. They're asking what? Given below is a flow chart showing the variants of different type of menstrual flow, right? Fill in the space with the hormone factors as responsible for the event. What are the hormones are involved? Primary follicle to Graafian follicle, FSH hormone and estrogen also important. Graafian follicle to ova, LH hormone. Just now I told you LH hormone is important for the breaking of this one. Ova to corpus luteum, progesterone hormone. How simple? C is progesterone hormone. Come to the next question. What is the next question? Look at here, this question. Very important 5-mark question. Easy to understand. After my class, I hope you will give the answer now. The following is the illustration of sequence of ovarian even A to I, human female. A, B, they are given some sequences given. Identify the figure that illustrate the ovulation. Look at the egg is releasing here. Ovulation F. Answer is F. And mention the stage of oogenesis it represent. It is the ovulation. Menstrual stage is called ovulation. F is the answer, ovulation. Next, name the ovarian hormone and pituitary hormone that gave cause to a above mentioned event. LH is the ovarian pituitary hormone. Estrogen is the ovarian hormone. Two hormones are important for this process, LH and estrogen. LH is pituitary, estrogen is ovarian. Finish. Explain the changes that occurs in the uterus simultaneously in anticipation. Whenever the ovulation takes place, estrogen hormone level, progesterone hormone level increase. In the uterus, endometrium thicknesses keep on increasing for what? Pregnancy. So what changes takes place in the uterus? Endometrium thickness increase because of corpus luteum, because of estrogen hormone. Understand my point? Once the egg is fertilized, that embryo slowly come down and attach to the endometrium. Done, students? Now, after this one, few more important. Remember, parturition, properly prepare, very easy topic. Next, last topic, student, which month, which part of embryo development takes place? That also very important. Tell me, at the end of first month, heart formation takes place. At the end of first month, tell me, heart formation takes place. Heart formation. Next, end of second month. End of second month, tell me, limbs, that means hands and legs, and also digit formation. Fingers, digit formation. Next, end of 12 weeks. 12 week means first trimester. First trimester, remember, genital and also what limbs formation takes place. Limbs formation, genital organ, male sex organ, female sex organ. Am I clear? Next, limbs formation takes place. Fifth month of pregnancy. Movement of fetus and appearance of hair on head part. Appearance of hair on head. Remember, important. End of 24 weeks. End of 24 weeks means end of second trimester. Second trimester, student. Remember, all important organs are formed. End of this one, eyelids, eyelashes separation takes place, limb formation takes place, almost done at the end of 9 months. This is the most important. You will get question in the exam, MCQ question, accession reason, or 2-mark question can come from this part. So take a 1 white paper, write down this all point. Did I cover that spermatogenesis? Did I cover the oogenesis, menstrual cycle, fertilization, parturition, lactation? Did I cover the male-female reproductive system? This human reproduction chapter, you don't need to worry, I'm telling you. These all the topics properly prepare and go. I am sure you will get good marks in this chapter. Now, I am going to record one more session on sexual reproduction flowering plant chapter. All important chapters, 7 important chapters. We are going to have super fast revision class. 100% this will be helpful you to get a top marks in final examination. Got my points? Thank you very much for attending this session. All of you subscribe to Brilliant Education. Thank you. All the best for your exams.